Blah blah blah. So blah blah blah. Blah. Pirates fucking suck balls. Blah blah
Blah, blah,
blah.
blah. Fuck yeah. Fuck it. Yeah. You hear me? You have to speak louder.
I don't know. Do I naturally speak louder than you?
Probably. Alright. Welcome to the show. John Riggs with Joe Crowley. There's no football this week. No hockey ever. Baseball, I didn't really want to talk about, but I have to. We weren't going to talk about sports, but something happened that must be addressed.
Ruined the no sports week.
Ruined the no sports week. I was looking forward to it, but we have to talk about this. All right, so we're recording this on Saturday night. I had Pirates tickets for tonight, but I gave them away. I'd rather give them away than go down there. Friday, we missed the opportunity to have a winning record mathematically.
So that was Friday.
Friday, we lost. When we lost,
I thought it was I thought it was Saturday that we lost it. But oh well. Go ahead. Continue.
All right.
I'm sorry.
I mean, that's just mathematically. Anybody who's been paying attention knows that there was no way we were going to get that for a while. And let's be honest, even if we ended up with a winning record, like if we had one game over, who gives a shit?
I would have cared.
Really?
Yeah.
After being in first place in July and after being 6 games over 500, just eking that out, you would have...
I would have been disappointed, but I still would have cared. I mean, what the fuck? 20 years, man.
Yeah, but I'm saying we should...
All right,
it should have been
sorry.
more. It should have been more.
Yeah, it should have been more.
It should have been more.
I
I mean,
agree.
the collapse is ridiculous. The thing's a mess. I can't imagine this organization. I can't imagine how it's run, how people go to work each morning. Can you imagine going to work here and having... Does anybody have a positive attitude going to work there?
I doubt it. I mean, what do? Go in and say, "What's up, boys?" They probably just fuck around and don't care anymore.
That's
I mean,
what
that's the
how
problem.
can anybody have a positive attitude even going into next year? Now, if they make no changes in management, whether it's the manager, GM, assistant coaches, assistants, whatever, if there's no changes, I mean, whatever we did this year didn't work. Right? Whatever we did this year did not work. I mean, we started out okay, but we can't finish.
I think we have to. Last year we looked at it and we said we were really good half the year, but we sucked the other half of the year. So if we can come into this year and play really good the whole year, then we'll be fine. They didn't think it was going to be a big deal. They thought, okay, we got the foundation set. They fell apart, but they'll be okay this year. And it looked fine coming back. But now, I mean, 2 baseball seasons. I mean, baseball season is fucking forever. It's like 100 million games.
It's a long time.
It's now become a pattern. If the Steelers go on a losing streak to finish out the year, like they did that one season where they lost the Kansas City and Oakland.
Yeah.
It's bad. But it's really just 4 games. It's
right.
like
it seems worse than it is. There's 4 individual
Baseball
games.
is made to get the best team in there because you play over and over and over and
right.
over and over.
Exactly. And we are obviously not the best team. I mean, we didn't fall off. We didn't run out of steam. We sucked. We imploded. I really can't even wrap my head around
how bad it really
these events. Like, I understand slumps, like you're saying. I understand slumps. I understand hills and valleys throughout the year. But I cannot understand this. I can't even compare it to anything. There are no words.
They're the worst sports franchise
Ever
in any sport in the world ever.
They're like the worst anything ever.
If you say you suck balls, you should just be like, you're like the Pirates. And it should be worse. It should be like the worst thing you could say to someone. It should be like the most derogatory thing you could say. It's like,
right. Like, say, like, if your daughter wound up being a cokehead, stripper, crackhead with, like, 6 babies or something, like, you run your household like the Pirates run a fucking organization.
And she'd be better off.
All right, well, anyway, we were no hit. We were no hit by Homer Bailey. Homer Bailey's all right, whatever, but this no-hitter...
His record isn't that good.
But he's...
What is he? I think he was 14-7.
Well, it's tough to pitch in that Cincinnati Reds ballpark. But whatever. Anyway, the no-hitter was the nail in the coffin for 500, and it's, like, poetic. I don't know how it's poetic. It's poetic because baseball is fucking poetic and majestic, and everything is supposed to mean something. But, all right, this is a stupid analogy, but you got to roll with me because I'm trying to put this situation into words that I don't know really how to do it. All right, so it's like you're this, we're like this poor-ass farmer, like for 20 years. We're this broke-ass farmer, all right? And we've been this poor-ass farmer for 20 years. We're scraping by. We do just well enough to get by, you know. Like our kids, our shoes, they're flopping, you know. They got the broken, worn-out shoes. I mean, their knees are worn. Like, we're in rough shape, you know. We're dirty. We don't have running water. We don't have electricity.
Look like you're from Seattle, 1992.
I don't know what it is. We're playing checkers by candlelight, singing fucking hymns as a family for entertainment.
In 2012.
We have nothing to do. Yes. All right. So we're scraping by, you know, and we suck at being farmers, you know, like our crops suck. Our carrots are all shriveled. Our potatoes are all shriveled. You know, we've been sucking.
Yeah, no one's going to buy it.
Sucking for a long time. And then the new farming season comes around. And all of a sudden, we got these, like, golden spuds. You know what I mean? We're like, holy shit. We're set now. We got them good. We're good, you know. We're excited. We're going to have a great year. We're going to make it. We're going to break through. You know, and other farmers are talking about us.
And it's almost like you're going to be rich. It's not only you're going to be okay.
Yeah, it's not
you're going to be a millionaire.
Yeah, we're going to make it. You know, we're buying shit now on credit. You know, like this cosmic karma credit we got. We're cashing it in. So we got all these new bills, like, you know.
Yep.
We're investing in it because we know when the harvest comes, we're going to have some good shit. And then, in the middle of the summer, there's a drought. And we're struggling again. But now it's bad and it's worse than before because we were counting on everything being great. We were so high, so now it's even that worse. We're collapsing, we're scraping by again, and now we got this new stuff, and we're like, how are we going to handle all this shit, all this new shit?
The debt.
Yeah, and people are saying, all right, well, maybe if we just make it to 500, we'll be able to get through winter, we can get to next spring, which is ridiculous, you know, because we can't go back to scraping now. We've seen it. We've seen what we could have. You know, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
And then Homer Bailey comes to town with the Reds.
It was like we were on the line of crisis. Well, we were past it, but it was just like it was the final straw that broke the camel's back.
More than that, Homer Bailey and the Reds come to town.
10-3,
so
or 13-10. I'm sorry.
Well, whatever.
13-10.
He doesn't matter.
Correct myself. I'm sorry.
So we're the poor farmers. We got our clothes suck. We're dirty. We got no running water. And the Reds come to town with their fancy clothes wearing and their book learning, these book reading motherfuckers to our broke ass farm. And they see us struggling, scraping by, trying to get just enough juice to get us through the winter, to get ahead. And they come in, they see our drought with our nasty crops, our shriveled corn, our preemie looking potatoes, and they don't just beat us up. They don't just burn down the house. They don't just take our little bit of shit we had. They see us on the verge of death, and all it takes just a nudge. And they drop a fucking no-hit A-bomb on the whole thing, and they see us, and they blast us in our miserable existence of the season into another level. They could have killed us with a sharpened stick, and they come in with the no-hitter.
Weak. We're just weak. They could have beat us with the 5-1 game.
Right. You know, and that would have been but no.
They just showed us how bad we really are.
How bad we really... And this season is just...
It's a good analogy.
Thank you.
It was pretty good.
We just took it
I was a little worried there for a second. But
where we were going to
got around to it. Yeah.
I mean, this change has got to be made. I mean, Operation Shutdown looks like nostalgic compared to this shit.
One thing before we get into your opinion on what to do... it's probably impossible to even come up with something. Who knows? I know you're saying it just has to be something. But another thing to think about this no-hitter was they scored the first run in the first inning. Uh-huh. So it wasn't like the Pirates gave up. They couldn't have just given up. You're one hit away from tying the game.
Right, it wasn't like
not only every team, no one wants to be no-hit. That goes unsaid. Right. But the fact is that when you go down 5-0 and you're being no-hit, you have less fortitude to come out and like
Right,
give
we only
everything
need
you
one run.
can
Yeah,
because you're down in the dumps. You can't win that game anyway, so why even go all out? But when you're down 1 run, you put Burnett's in there, pitches 8 innings, and only lets up that 1 run in the first inning. It just shows how bad they were trying their absolute hardest. And this 13-10 pitcher comes in and no hits them. It's like you have everything to fight for. The one even like I just said, even if you were over 500, I would have been disappointed, and probably a lot of people are in the same boat as you. But I don't watch the games. I'm kind of just like, come on.
Come on, man.
What the fuck is your fucking problem, asshole? What the fuck?
I mean, could you imagine being AJ Burnett just sitting there watching?
Yes, but it's weird because it's like, could you just think about his thought process the whole way through? He gets traded to the Pirates. Motherfuck. He's so pissed. He gets here, he's like, all right, goes to spring training, bunts himself in the face.
Yeah, everyone's making fun of him.
Yeah, and then he comes in and starts pitching gems. Gem after gem after gem. Good game after good game. The Pirates are 16 games over 500. He's like, holy shit. I could go to the playoffs. Yeah. We're the story of the year. He could have been the Cy Young winner, for God's sake.
Right.
If we made it to the playoffs, he could have been. Obviously, if we made it to the playoffs, we'd have won a lot of these games.
He would have more run. He would have more win. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, we're sinking like
nobody's ever seen before.
Someone tied bricks to our feet in the middle of the ocean, and you're just dying, game after game. And it's like I said about baseball. It's day after day after day, and there's no way they could have any morale at all.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think lots of changes have to be made as far as. I mean, are there leaders on the team? Are there any leaders? Who would be a leader?
One of the problems. Who wants to come to Pittsburgh?
I mean, maybe somebody would have.
The only way we
get
get anybody is if we trade for them. When was the last time we got a free agent?
I mean, we get free agents all the time. We don't get any good ones. You know?
Yeah, but we don't. When was the last time we got
free agents?
When was the last time we got a good free agent? I'm sorry. Yeah, obviously, if they can't make it anywhere else in the league, they'll fucking settle for Pittsburgh.
I don't know.
Do you think that it's so? You think it's management, whether it be the manager, upper management, or what? I mean,
I think it's leadership, and that could be management, that could be players. Like, who is the leader? I mean, Walker is a bum. I hate him. I mean,
Jones,
he's, 30-something. He's average.
Yeah, but
who's going to listen to him?
See, okay, you're the baseball guy. When I think of sports, I think of hockey. So that's the first thing my mind goes to.
That's okay.
A leader in hockey is usually a veteran. And I mean, one thing about hockey is it's hard to stick around for a long time. And I know baseball is too.
Knows the way around the
clubhouse. So, like, Billy Guerin comes in and we win the Stanley Cup. Or Gary Roberts comes in and we make it to the finals.
How to play.
And you do it for them, you know?
Yeah.
I really feel like that's one thing the Penguins are missing, but we'll talk about that later. But is it... So, Jones is old.
Well, Burnett was a leader. Leader of the pitching staff. And then...
But the pitchers are different.
Pitchers are their own thing. The whole club, as far as the whole club goes, I don't know, because everybody's young. Everybody's either young or no good. And it has to be McCutchen because he's the best one.
Right.
It has to be him. But I don't think he knows how to do it, and I don't think there's anybody in that organization that can teach him how to do it. Like, how do you learn how to be great? I mean, you can be talented and be great. You know, you can have great skills and great talent, but how do you learn how to truly be great? You know, like Barry Bonds would learn from like Willie Mays or his dad or somebody how to be great. You know, they wouldn't even pitch to him. You know, Barry Bonds, he would see one pitch a game and would hit it out of the park. That's great.
Yeah,
you know? And eventually everybody caught on and was like, McCutchen is the only one that's worth
a damn. Yeah, you can pitch around them.
We're not pitching to him, so you have to know how to perform when you're not given the same opportunities, you know, and there's nobody in the organization that can teach him. I don't know if he can. You got to reach out to somebody, or someone needs to reach out to somebody. But everybody I don't think anybody knows.
He was definitely an MVP candidate all through the year, up until the last couple weeks.
How can a team with an MVP candidate be so poor?
Because there's nobody else. There's nobody else. Who else is going to win? Or who's going to win? If it's Buster Posey, they at least have people around them that can hit. You know, I mean, there's other people.
We're supposed to have Jones. Supposed to be okay. Alvarez is supposed to be the man.
Jones came in last year as a utility player. You know, he's not a.
We still don't have a position for him.
Right. So
we still don't have a position for him. We made a trade for someone to play for him. We have no first baseman. We have. I don't know. There's so many problems. It's not even worth talking about anymore.
Okay. One more thing.
All right.
I know you're hella down on him, and you don't want to look at any possible thing as a winning scenario with this. And I hear you. But what if you think it's more management and leadership? We don't have the leadership. Do you think it's possible for a manager to come in and be that leadership and we'd be okay without any more moving pieces? Because let's face the facts. We're not getting anybody. You're not getting anybody else.
Starting pitching has to improve. They were good. Starting pitching has to improve. But like,
do you think a manager can make all the difference in the world?
Yeah, because I don't know what happened between. I mean, everybody has slumps, but this is prolonged. You know, whatever.
Yeah,
whatever they're
2 months.
Whatever they're
3 months.
talking, whatever they're saying, whatever they're doing isn't the right thing to do. Nobody can suck this long and it be a tweak in your hit or a tweak in your swing, or maybe if you just slide this way or that way. You know what I mean? Like, there's no one thing they can do. It's like a multitude of things just came crashing down.
Okay. What last thing? Do you think they'll do anything?
Do I think they'll make a change? No, I don't think they'll make a change.
All right.
Why would they?
Because they fucking suck. What do you mean, what would they? I mean,
They don't,
you're right. Why would they in the fact that they haven't, over the last 20 years they haven't, so why would they do it now?
I say they're not going to do that because they said they're not going to do it now. They said
there'll be
no changes, there'll be no managerial changes, there'll be no front office changes.
I'm still amazed at the fact that we're all pissed off about this 20 years later. I mean,
they found a new way to suck. I mean,
that was the first thing I said 2 weeks ago.
I know, and it fucking came true. Like, it would be one thing if they sucked in April, May, June, July. I'd be like, it's the Pirates.
Yeah, you write them off right at the beginning. You
but
don't invest
found
anything.
A new way, like, you thought there was no way
you invest
that
in time.
Step on my heart anymore. But it hurts more this year than it ever did before. It wasn't like, they gave it their all and they just weren't good enough. We've seen them be good enough, and it just didn't happen for whatever reason. But, I mean, I obviously don't. If I knew the answers, they'd be paying me to make the changes. I don't know the answers, but they have to pay somebody to know the answer, and they're not doing it.
No hitter.
And that's the only reason that I'm so upset, and that's the reason I gave my tickets away to Dan, and I don't even know if he went. I mean, Lighthouse is playing tonight. I mean,
what's that song they sing?
Hanging by a Moment. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
10th grade.
Hell yeah,
man. I swayed with some girls to Hanging by a Moment.
Oh yeah, that was all the rage.
Yeah.
Listening to it in the car.
I didn't actually. He put that on one of the.
It was on. Yeah,
it was on Cool Shit.
Cool Shit Volume 2.
It might have been 1 or 2. Yeah, it certainly wasn't cool. I don't know, but whatever. All right. Is there anything you want to? We didn't want to talk about sports, then we went and did it. Is there anything you want to say before we get officially started on our topics for this week?
Yeah. I don't want to go on too long about this, but there's certain things in the world that it just gets me upset, and I don't really know why, but it just gets my blood boiling, and it's just so what I saw a picture on Facebook the other day.
All right, it was on Facebook?
It was a picture on Facebook where.
Okay. I can understand your anger already.
It was a teacher.
A teacher.
A teacher is in her new classroom. You know how these people, they do this. Teachers always do this. They take pictures of their classroom as if anyone gives a fucking shit what your classroom
You don't
looks
take
like.
pictures of your office, of your cubicle, and put it on?
No, I don't. Oh, look, here's the computer I stare at for 8 hours a day and want to kill myself.
Here's my Steelers calendar with Troy Polamalu
Yeah.
destroying somebody in October.
This is the reflection I look at, wishing there was a gun to my head.
All right. So,
So I'm looking at Facebook, and she posts a picture of her classroom, and she got a new rug. And this rug is a map of the world.
Okay.
Which, yeah,
That's cool.
good.
That's cool.
Geography,
That's
right?
Yeah.
North America, South America, Africa, Europe.
All of them.
India,
They're all there.
and it says it right on there.
That's great.
Okay? And then I see Atlantic Ocean, Arctic Ocean, Pacific Ocean, Indian Ocean, and I look down and by Africa, it says Southern Ocean.
The Southern Ocean. Never heard of it.
How are you going to add a fucking ocean? So I go,
Science.
so I comment on it. I haven't talked to the girl in years.
Like
Years.
friends
There's
from,
Matthew's old girlfriend. And
No.
I never even talked to her to begin with. I just happened to be acquaintances with her. Either way. So I commented on it, and she's like, yep, they added it in 2000.
That's a long time ago. We missed it.
Yeah, that's another thing.
I was in high school in 2000.
How come they don't tell us about it? Like, no one should care. I mean, they should put a history program on it and send a bulletin out that says, we added an ocean.
Is it because it's bigger now? Because of
So, I guess...
global warming?
No, I don't think so. So apparently it was an ocean from some period to like 1908. And then they did like a new survey where they said...
bastards said no.
And they're like, what are you talking about? It's not there. So it's basically the Southern Ocean is the ocean around Antarctica, just like the Arctic Ocean is around the Arctic on the North Pole.
Okay.
So it makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah, I don't argue with the fact that it's...
But how are you going to add an ocean? The world is 4.6 billion years old. What are you going to do? Oh, let's add an ocean.
I think it's just terminology.
2,000 years after BC.
Whatever.
You know? No, not whatever. I don't know. Yeah, it is
no
whatever.
Test. You don't have to pass a
It
test
is whatever. But how... Anybody could have asked me how many oceans are there, and I would have been like 4, and they'd be like,
yeah.
you're an idiot.
No.
You don't even know how many oceans there are. How many continents are there?
12.
Really?
No, I don't know. I'm just
You
saying.
don't know how many continents?
I know. What are there? 7?
7
There's
continents.
7 continents.
You're lucky you got it right.
I knew it. I'm just saying, like, you can just say anything. Half the people, who's going to tell, when you're going to be out somewhere, someone's like, hey man, how many oceans?
I talk about shit all the time like that. I quiz people. Who's the 5th president of the United States?
James Madison.
My man!
Is that the only one you know?
No. What? 7's Van Buren. The Van Buren boys.
That's 8.
8 Van Buren.
Fail. You're failing.
Andrew Johnson 7. Andrew Jackson 7.
All right.
Andrew Johnson got impeached. Okay.
Stop before everyone thinks you're whatever.
Too late.
Okay.
Cut it out.
All right. Next. Moving on. This week, what we really wanted to talk about
Fucking
were,
oceans.
No, we didn't want to talk about oceans,
Add an
but I'm
ocean.
glad we did. This week we wanted to talk about movies coming out. There's actually a lot of movies coming out in the next few weeks that I really want to see. And I don't really go to movies. I don't see...
Because there's nothing been out. Nothing has
But
been
now
out.
it's like bam, 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 bam. And I was even looking further ahead, and I'm even more excited. But we're gonna keep it to the next few weeks. But the reason I don't really see the movies is because I don't like going to theaters. You like going to theaters?
I love it.
You like going to the movie theater?
I love it.
Glad.
My grandma used to work in a movie theater.
Okay.
And it was my dad's mom, and when she watched me, so if she was babysitting us, my dad would bring me over to my grandma's house, and my grandma went to work.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm going to work, come on. And she'd bring me
You went to work at the
she'd
movie?
bring me in a movie
That's awesome.
theater, and I went from movie to movie, and I usually just watch the same movie once. It's amazing how little kids watch the same movie over and over and over and over and over.
I've watched Uncle Buck over and over. You know those things where you can like send away and like movies would come to your house
Yeah.
and you can buy them? Well, I went down to Instant Replay Video and I rented Uncle Buck like every weekend when it came out. And finally my grandma was like, let's just buy him this movie. So she was like, guess what we're going to do? We're going to buy you that movie. And I was like, awesome. And she's like, it's coming in the mail, so it'll come next week. And I was like, next week? All right. So then we went down Friday night to rent a movie, and guess what movie I rented because it didn't come for a week. Fucking Uncle Buck.
That's good stuff. He drops the plate, it falls and doesn't break. Unbreakable.
You know those plates down in the family room? Yeah, I was looking, where do you get something like that? England. England. Okay.
John
Okay.
Candy. My old man loved John Candy. I'm not going to go on about it, but oh shit! I totally forgot what I was going to say.
Oh, it's okay. If you think of it, say it later. But anyway, the first one I want to talk about, movie coming out. It came out this week, actually. Looper, with Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Bruce Willis. It's about time travel. Rian Johnson is the director. I think that's how you say his name.
Rian.
Rian.
It can't be Rian.
I've never said it out loud. I've only read it on the internet.
That happens a lot to me.
Anyway, did you see it?
I did not see
Did
it.
you see the previews?
I have seen the previews.
Okay.
How to say this without making me look like a huge douchebag?
Just let it go.
Yeah, I'm a movie snob. I
Okay.
guess.
Can you explain that?
Like I'm a book snob too. Like I'm not just gonna read Harry Potter. It's just not gonna happen. And I will talk.
Harry Potter's good.
Yeah, I'm sure it is, but I'm gonna talk down to you if you read it. It's a children's book. Don't read it. It's
Children.
Stop. All right. Either way.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm a snob. I understand this is very unbecoming of me. I usually follow the critics' lead, so I'll go if I see a movie's coming out, and I used to look at previews and be like, "Oh, that preview looks good. I'm going to go see that." But I've been duped too many times, and the movies are just too expensive now to just go on a whim. So, like, I look at if I'm watching TV, I'll go through the Comcast channels and hit info, and if it has less than 3 stars, I'm not watching it unless it's like Happy Gilmore or something. Happy Gilmore, I got 1 star. Can you believe it? Either way.
Yes. Yes.
So it didn't really draw me in when I saw the preview of it.
All right.
And it's like, it ends up being $30 to go to the movie. So I probably won't even go. Because it's $12 a ticket. I mean, granted, I live in Boston and it's all a little bit higher. So $12, that's $24.
Okay, it's like
Plus, and I have to get popcorn. My old man,
Why?
because I've always had popcorn with me to watch movies since
Do you make
I was a
popcorn at
child.
home if you're watching a movie at home?
I try to, but if my girlfriend doesn't buy it, I can't get it. I'm not gonna buy it myself.
Okay, I'm not buying my own popcorn. All right. So yeah, I understand it's expensive. But I think
So like I said, I love going to the movies. So if there's something comes out that really catches my eye and it's like, oh, that looks awesome, and it gets good buzz, and people say it's going to be good, and I'm like, oh,
so you want to see it, so you are involved in the conversation.
Yes,
Like the
maybe.
greater conversation.
I do like
You can read the internet. You can talk to people at work about it.
Yes, and I like when people are like, have you seen this? Oh my god. And then a lot of people wait till the Oscars happen and then something wins and everyone's like, oh my god, did you see it? And then everyone rushes out to see it.
Yeah, you're like, I already seen it.
Yeah, fuck you. I'm smarter than you.
I have better taste than you.
Yeah, that's right. I think it's that. I think it's just me having no confidence.
All right, well, that's okay. Anyway, the movie is about, I guess, let me give a brief synopsis. I didn't see it, but I really want to. It's about Joseph Gordon-Levitt. He works for the mob or something, and he kills people. And it's in the future, I guess the mob controls time travel or something, and they send people back in time to like this place. And he's just sitting there waiting to just start killing people. And he's sitting there one day, and Bruce Willis shows up, and Bruce Willis is him from the future. And then adventures ensue, I guess. I don't know, like but that's the idea behind it. And I think, I mean, it's an original idea.
It is, and I did hear a review of it on the radio too, just to add to it. If anyone's listening at all. Anybody there? Bueller. But the guy said that it sounds heady, you know, with the time travel and things can start as soon as you start adding like butterfly effect stuff and not actual butterfly effect movie, but
yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
I know what you mean.
But as soon as you start adding that stuff in, things start to get convoluted and you're trying to explain things, but apparently like in the movie they go, It sounds difficult and stuff, and they're like, don't worry about it, it's not a big deal. Yeah. And then they just push it off, and so you basically just accept the premise that it's happening. And I think a lot more movies should do that. Right.
Instead of like, okay, yeah.
So, like, I think, they got a very good review, too. So,
I mean, Rian Johnson, he directed it. I think he's awesome. He did an AMA last week on Reddit, which is whatever. I mean, everybody does that. But he made Brick. I love that movie, Brick. Did you ever see it? With Joseph Gordon-Levitt?
He was in that too?
Yeah,
Oh.
he's the main guy. That's why I told you to see it, and that's why I was shocked when you said that she wasn't into it, because like if you look at it, it's like it's a cool thing.
Yeah, I said I ordered it. He had told me to see it before this, like months and months ago. Probably, I think it was last summer. He told me to see it,
Probably last winter.
and I told him then. And I ordered it on Netflix and everything because I had the password for the Netflix queue. So I like got in there, and sometimes she'll get in there and like put all her shit in front.
Legally, but then 1, 2, 3.
So I got on there and flipped it up. I was like, put it top of the list. It came, and I was like, let's watch this. And she's like, no. And then she's like, what's it about? And I read like the back cover, and then she's like, no. And then I'd like the next time I'd be like, let's watch this. And she's like, no. And then eventually a week passes, and I'm like, oh, we're not going to watch this. I need to get a new movie that she's actually going to watch.
Well,
so
in that movie, it's about, he is a kid in high school. This is like early 2000s, sort of when we went to high school, I guess. Before, like, there were cell phones around, but not everybody had one.
Right.
Sort of thing.
Yep.
And he had this girlfriend who calls him out of the blue, like this ex-girlfriend. And she's like, hey, how you been? And he's like, what's going on? What's going on? And then she winds up dead, and he has to figure out who did it. And he's playing like on everybody's side, trying to figure out who did it. And it's sort of like an old detective movie, like real neo-noirish.
The cops aren't involved?
The cops are there, you know, like, and he, like, I don't want to give away anything.
I don't want to
give away anything.
They're not the focus.
He's like the detective.
Okay.
He's playing the detective. He's trying to figure out, he doesn't want to get the cops involved because he doesn't know what, you know, he doesn't want to, whatever. But it's awesome. If you have Netflix, I'm sure it's still on Instant, so check it out.
It is on Instant.
I'm sure it's on, that's when I watched it on Instant.
Oh, really? That was before I had the Instant.
Before you had Instant.
I did see, so when we talked about talking about this movie, I did look up Rian Johnson, and I was like, I don't know if I've ever seen anything he did. And I did want to mention one thing that he did. I'm not sure how many people watch Breaking Bad.
I'm sure a lot of people.
But if you don't watch it, fucking do it. Because you have to watch it. You can stream the whole thing on Netflix. You can... What's wrong? You don't have anything to do.
I know it's supposed to be like a golden age in TV. You know, there's so many good TV shows out now. For the past couple of years even, but TV shows is it's a big commitment, it's a lot of hours. I like movies because the story is 2 hours, I'm in it, I experience it, and I'm out. I have the time, but I don't want to give up 80 hours.
You have way more than enough time. But, okay, here's my rebuttal.
Alright.
The movies now in Hollywood has been changed so much to the fact that you don't get any good. Let me not say that. You do get, obviously there's good movies, but the number of good movies that come out a year have dwindled dramatically because it's all about the big budget stuff now. Like, you get Transformers 8.
Right.
All the studios are looking for the next Superman, the next Batman.
It's a business, you know, they're trying to make money.
I really believe that it's the people that used to write movies or the guys, the talent that would write movies have now moved on to television shows.
Right.
And it does make it a lot more elaborate. It gets more in depth. It's like a book.
I agree.
You like books? So.
I like books, but I don't know. Like, I mean, I've been burned before, like you said. I've watched up to like season 5 of some show, and then season 6 comes along, and I'm like, what the hell is this?
Agree. Yeah, but it's not lost. Yeah. I mean...
I know, but then I want to see, you know, like, it's like, that's why I like the movies, because beginning, middle, end. A lot of times I get beginning, middle, what the hell is this?
Yeah, okay, and I don't start watching TV shows until after at least the first season. Until someone says it's good. And okay, so here's me telling you it's good.
Alright.
TV is different than movies. I try to get out ahead of it on movies because, like you said, it's less of a commitment. But I agree that it is a big commitment. But Breaking Bad is a great television show. Like, maybe it's my favorite television show as of this date is The Wire. Okay. Great television show. I saw the beginning, middle, and end. You know, it's
and it was good the whole way.
And it was good the whole way. I loved it the whole time. Now, Breaking Bad is in its final season.
Its final season?
Season 5. So they decided they're going to end it.
Now that's okay.
Not 5 years. It's in one calendar year in the show, but it was 5 years.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah. Five seasons, and they've decided to end it before it got, like you said.
Okay, well I can handle that. I can watch 5 seasons of a show.
Yeah, and so back to Rian Johnson, and so he directed episodes of Breaking Bad. Great show. I love it. I didn't start it till last summer, really, or this summer that just passed. And we watched all 4 seasons in a month and a half, just in time for the new season.
New one. And now you have to wait 6 months for the end.
Because they split up the last season, 8 episodes this summer, 8 episodes next summer.
Well.
And that would usually be enough to say that Rian Johnson directs episodes of Breaking Bad.
So you love it.
I love it.
But you don't want to see this movie.
I didn't say that. Well, I did say that. I didn't want to see it first, but now that you had me looking into it, and I looked up, and he directed the episode of the Breaking Bad, and I'm sure if the people that have seen Breaking Bad know the episode The Fly. It's basically, he's the main character cooks meth, and he has like this younger helper. He's like his student.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
So they're in this lab, like this super lab, and a fly gets in. And the whole episode is them two in the lab chasing this fly because it's contaminating their lab. And it's just a brilliant directing job. It's on the internet. It's I've seen it more than 10 times saying it's the best TV episode ever directing. So when I saw that, along with a couple other things that he's done, and I like Joseph Gordon-Levitt. He's a good kid, good actor. Bruce Willis, motherfucking Die Hard. I am. After I've researched it, I am leaning towards seeing it. I'm not going to say I will, but I am leaning towards it. Depending on,
I understand why you didn't, because I know you. I mean, you talk about. You like drama. You like everything. I'm a big sci-fi guy, and I love smart sci-fi, and there's not that much of it around, especially in popular pop culture, and so that's why I'm really excited for it. But speaking of Gordon-Levitt, you said you liked him. What's your favorite Joseph Gordon-Levitt movie?
First thing that comes to my head, Third Rock from the Sun.
That's probably a lot of people coming there. I mean, of our age, I guess, our age group.
I hated that show, but I did watch it. I don't know.
French Stewart? You don't like French Stewart?
Is that the chick?
No, that's the weird-looking dude.
The bald guy?
No, that's John Lithgow. You don't know John Lithgow?
John Lithgow looks just like my boss. Didn't know it until I looked up the pictures for Third Rock.
French Stewart is the dude that wore sweaters look like this. They look like Jimmy Fallon. Jimmy Fallon played him on Celebrity Jeopardy a couple times.
All right. Yeah, okay. I know what you're talking about now. But that kid's a solid actor, man. He's been in a lot of movies that I've seen.
He did it's like the new path. You know, you're a child star, go indie, and then cash it all in like your late 20s.
Get in the Dark Knight.
Cash it in. Now you're in. You look like using that stupid Premium Rush.
Yeah, that looked bad.
That looked like a paycheck.
That made me nervous. That made me a little nervous. But I saw him in a movie this summer that just came out. It was on HBO at one point, and I thought I'd plug it for him. It's called Hesher. Do you know what Hesher is? Hesher. Okay. Do you know what a Hesher is? Do you know that's like a name for a metalhead or whatever? No. I didn't know that either, but it is. It's like a slang name for.
I saw what it's about. Like, I saw it when it came out. I didn't see it. I saw when it was coming out, and I was like, "Oh, that looks like very." What you said, Natalie Portman's in it.
Yeah, she's like a nerd.
I look like fucking indie gold. I just did not get around to it.
It just happened to be on. I would have never been able to talk to my girlfriend into watching it had it not just have come on TV. And I was like, "We're gonna watch this." And so it's like he's like this anarchist, doesn't care about anything. And the main character is like a little kid, and he's riding his bike, and a bully's chasing him, and he stops at like this abandoned house to get away from the bully, where this anarchist, Joseph Gordon-Levitt's sleeping, and he comes in, he wakes him up, and like the cops come, and he's squatting in the house, and like so they leave. And the guy's like, "You asshole," and walks around, and he ends up blowing up the house. Like, walks
Spoiler
away.
alert, he blows up the house.
I mean, it's But then
I know, but I'm just,
yeah.
it's just funny.
So he comes later. He just walks in the house now. He walks in the little kid's house. The little kid's mom had just died, and the dad is grieving. The dad is Dwight Schrute, and he just lives in
Schrute Farm.
he lives in the house with this little kid, and then Natalie Portman's a nerdy love interest. It was good. It was good.
All right.
And
Is
then
that your favorite one? Is that what you're saying? Or?
no,
No.
there was I saw 50-50, which was he had cancer. It was a good acting job.
I wanted to see all these things, but I don't know.
It was a good acting job. Seth Rogen. I don't think Seth Rogen's funny at all. I think he's a piece of shit that can't act. But I guess he wrote it, so maybe he can write. But they advertise it as funny. All those Judd Apatow movies, or whatever his name is, they always advertise them as funny, like that one with Adam Sandler, Funny People or whatever. That's just fucking sad. I don't want to watch it. If I rent your movie, I don't want to be fucking sad. It makes me cry. And then 500 Days of Summer was a good romantic comedy.
Zooey in that one?
Is her name Zoe?
Yeah.
Zoe?
Zooey.
Really?
Yeah.
I called her Zoe. But
I'm not allowed to watch movies. I'm not allowed to see anything with Zooey in it.
Why? Because that's your girl?
Not my girl, but she
thinks it's your girl?
Yeah, it's something like that.
Alright, yeah, I know how that goes. But if you're gonna watch a romantic comedy, I like that because it wasn't like the run-of-the-mill happy ending kind of movie, you know?
Well, I'll probably watch it when I'm alone.
You haven't seen 500 Days of Summer?
No.
Oh, that's a good one. Then The Lookout is also very good. He's loses
short-term
memory, kind of like Memento, and he works at this bank, so he's acquired to be a lookout of a heist. That one's really good.
Never even heard of that one.
That one's really good. 10 Things I Hate About You.
10 Things I Hate About You is my pick for my favorites.
Yeah?
This is Gordon Levitt movie. It's a modern take on Taming of the Shrew, and it's awesome. And it's just funny.
Heath Ledger?
Heath Ledger. It's just funny. It's good late 90s, early 2000s high school movie.
Yeah, I saw that movie on a fake date with a girl that I wanted to be my girlfriend, but we were just friends.
Yeah, it had everybody in it. Julia Stiles, Heath Ledger, that dude that was in Numbers or something, and now he has a new
the
gay TV show.
Yeah.
That dude's funny. I feel bad that he's in all these awful things.
He's in a Newsroom too. I don't know if you watch that. It's a new HBO show.
Funny
That's pretty
dude.
good. There's no reason.
That dude is funny.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's a good show.
And it had that one, the dude who was supposed to be that hunky dude was supposed to be good looking.
Yeah.
He was in a few of those.
Yep. And was that the girl from Alex Mack?
Which one?
The main girl. It was Julia Stiles' sister.
Oh, what's her name?
I think she was in Alex Mack, the Nickelodeon TV show. For some reason, I thought so.
Bianca.
You really know it, huh?
I was going to say Brianna, but it's Bianca. I know.
So I guess my pick would be Inception.
Nolan.
Huge.
Are you a Nolan fanboy?
I'm a huge Nolan fanboy.
You know what? All right. I was.
Okay.
I love Memento. When that came out, we were in college when that came out.
Great movie.
It might have even came out right before college, but that's when we
I
became aware of it.
I saw it my freshman year of college.
And it's just that blew me away. It was very original. The Prestige, amazing.
Great movie.
That's amazing. Just the ideas behind it.
That came out at the same time as The Illusionist. I remember they both were in movie theaters. I was like, "Why the fuck are you coming on 2 fucking movies with fucking magicians? What the fuck are you guys smoking?" But it was Prestige blew it away.
I've seen all of them, and
Insomnia was another good one for everybody.
Okay.
No, that wasn't as good as the other one.
It definitely wasn't.
Al Pacino,
but he didn't write it. He didn't write
it.
Oh,
okay.
He didn't write that.
Okay, maybe that's the
that
difference.
was his.
But that is a decent movie to see.
That was his. Yeah, I'll do this for you.
Yeah,
sort of thing.
Yeah, I think that was one of his first ones.
It came out, I think,
maybe
before
Memento.
The Prestige.
After Memento.
After Memento, they were like, "Hey, you're okay. Do this." And then you can make
it. Was a decent movie. It was a decent
movie. I didn't like it. Robin Williams.
It's worth seeing. I mean, I think it's better than a lot of stuff.
It was alright. I watched it
by
myself.
Yeah, I'm not going
to
jack off.
But lately,
come on.
Been too... I love Batman. Batman Begins. Dark Knight.
Inception.
I loved it when it came out. That's when I went to see in the theaters.
Yeah.
The big thing with the water and everything. Yeah. But it was and I didn't notice it at first, but after I saw The Dark Knight Rises, it seems like they're trying to too much into the movie. You know, there was a lot of explaining. You know, like they had to explain the whole idea behind the Inception thing. They had to explain the whole, they sort of, Batman, or The Dark Knight Rises, it felt like they explained the plot for 3.5 hours, and then Batman blew something up at the end, and I was like, can I go home now?
Well, I'm not gonna defend The Dark Knight Rises, but it wasn't bad. I thought it was good. I didn't see it.
I need to see it again.
I didn't see it till a month after. After I didn't have that anticipation to go that night and see it, and then I heard everyone say, yeah, it wasn't as good, and then I went into it and I was like, well, it's not going to be as good, and I thought it was good.
It was really
good. It was
but
really good. There wasn't as much Batman.
There was
not a lot of Batman.
There should have been more. I mean, and I read online that when the Blu-ray comes out, there won't be a director's cut because I guess Nolan likes. I mean, every cut he makes is the final cut, which I can respect that. But something like that, it seems like you could see holes where they wanted to all of a sudden this lady is this, and all of a sudden this lady is that. But whatever. But Inception, I do like Inception. I thought it was a great idea.
Great idea.
I love the ideas behind it.
Great idea.
I mean,
great acting.
Great idea. Great execution.
Great
acting.
In
Leo. I mean,
yeah.
Levitt, Leo. Who else is in it?
Tom Hardy.
Yeah, that was.
Tom Hardy's a good actor.
Did you ever see him in anything else before that? Can you remember?
No, I didn't see anything before. He was in Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, which was really good.
I wanted to see that one.
That one's really good. Jenna fell asleep. It was literally a psychological thriller. All the action was in your head, trying to think of it. And it wasn't there wasn't that much action at all.
I've seen him in, what the hell was
He was in a boxing movie.
I heard about that. I've seen him in a Guy Ritchie movie. I think it might have been Rock and Rolla, but I might be wrong. But with Gerard Butler and that's when I first saw him. He was real skinny. He was
I don't know. I didn't see that.
But
as to defend him, Inception.
Who are you defending?
Nolan, real quick. Inception. I see your point, but Inception was a very in-depth movie, and I think he did do some explaining, and I think that. But I don't think he spelled it out for you. I mean, it wasn't
I thought it was spelled out.
I
hated everybody that was
I understand.
I was confused. I'm like, did you see the same thing I did?
When I walked out, I was like, I know exactly what happened the whole time.
Other than the end.
But that's what makes him so accessible for everybody.
Yeah,
that's why everybody likes him.
Right. And
that's good.
He does the big tent pole plus a little bit of indie-ish.
But he makes movies that you have to think about.
You want to see.
And you have to think. I don't like absent-minded movies. I want to have to think a little bit, and that's my main criteria. So if you're gonna do it, make you think and let everybody else in on it. That's fine with me.
All right.
And I feel like he accomplishes that.
To defend myself against you, I mean, when I came out, I was in love with it, and it was only upon my second or third time watching it that I was like, it's not as great as I thought. So it was probably just me overdoing it and thinking too much about it. I mean, it was great and whatever. But you talking about the acting? Who's in it? What's that girl's name? Juno.
Oh yeah, Ellen Page.
Yeah, she's all right.
She was pretty good. Juno was good acting too. But
the main man was Leo.
I love Leo.
Do you
love him?
What's your favorite Leo flick?
That's such a hard question because he was in so many good movies. I will say The Departed, with a close second being Gangs of New York. I really like Gangs of New York. Daniel Day-Lewis is movie boner for me. He's fucking incredible. By the way, Joseph Gordon-Levitt's coming out with a movie with Daniel Day-Lewis too. It's Lincoln, the biopic or whatever. I cannot wait for that shit. I'll be ejaculating all over my pants watching that.
So you're going with
Departed. Tragedy. It's like a modern day tragedy. You know that's movies about Whitey Bulger? You know who that is?
No.
He's like an Irish mob boss in Boston, and he killed.
Jack Nicholson?
Yeah, but it's loosely based on him, I guess. And he killed all these people, and he was an FBI informant, and that's all true and stuff. So they let him go, and then the FBI told him they were coming to arrest him, and he left, and he was gone for 20 years. They just found him recently.
They just found him
in like Nevada or California or something.
Why do you like that one though? Why do you like him in it? You just like the movie? And
he was great. He was great in that movie. I mean, I love the way I like Matt Damon too.
I like everybody in that movie.
Right.
Wahlberg, Alec Baldwin.
Alec Baldwin was great in that movie. It was an accumulation of everyone acting. I love the movie, and he's the main actor.
I remember he
tore
really
that
good.
shit.
He did. I remember the scene.
He's always high.
Yeah,
on
that's
drugs.
what I was gonna say. I was gonna say the scene when they're like, sort of like on the water, like under like a overpass, and he's all like strung out.
He's like, "You're gonna get me killed."
He's all strung out. And he's like, yeah, freaking out.
Dude, it's so good. And the scene where he arrests Matt Damon on the roof, and he's like, "Fuck it, this is," and then what follows, and he's like, that blew my mind, to the infinite degree. That was a great movie.
It's a good movie.
Plus,
that's probably the kind of movie that I'm going to watch over and over again whenever it comes on cable TV.
Right, that's a movie. That's like one of the movies where I watch every time it's on TV. It's like kind of like Forrest Gump.
Right.
I watch Forrest Gump every time it's on TV. It's completely different. But, right.
All right. So you're going.
What about you? What's your
DiCaprio?
favorite? Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to be stupid and say Romeo and Juliet, but I just want to say that I like Catch Me If You Can.
I like that movie too.
I really like
very lighthearted.
It's like,
but it's not the acting.
It's sneaky good.
It's very. I like sneaky good. Tom Hanks, great.
Right, but
great
I like Leonardo in it.
Blood Diamond.
I like Shutter Island.
Shutter Island was very good.
It wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be because.
Did you read the book?
No, I didn't read the book because I saw the movies coming out.
Yeah, I heard the book. I do that too.
But I thought it was good. What's his name's in it? The Hulk.
Yeah, Ruffalo.
Yeah.
Paul Ruffalo or Mark Ruffalo.
That's more indie gold. Whatever. All right.
Titanic. Do you like Titanic?
Do I like Titanic?
Yeah. I hate people that say they don't like Titanic.
No, I like Titanic.
Shut the fuck up. Fuck you.
I like
you
Titanic.
Like Titanic.
Who do you know?
Everybody likes Titanic. Everybody
it's too long.
All kinds of guys will say, I don't like Titanic because it's a gay movie or some bullshit. That's a good movie.
What's that girl's name?
Kate Winslet naked. My old man saw it with my sister, and then he was like, "You gotta see it." I'm not sure if I want you to go because Kate Winslet's naked.
Because there's tits in it.
Yeah, like I haven't seen black and white pictures of Miss Elizabeth from the internet.
What was it, 1997?
Yeah.
Well, no,
Sixth grade.
All they had was the dial-up JPEGs.
Tell you one thing about Leo. When I first moved to Plum, where we went to high school, I was a new kid in 6th grade. It was right before junior high, so it was the last year.
6th grade.
Last year you get in, it was like your 6th grade Washington, D.C. field trip and everything.
Uh-huh.
And as soon as I got there, I hate to pat my own back, but the girls, obviously you're in 6th grade, so it fucking means nothing. But
right.
All the girls, were all about me. And it was like, I think it was like a couple friends, said, "Oh, he's blah, blah, blah." And then everybody else, got on board and was it was literally almost every girl in the fucking grade would be calling my house, and I'd be so embarrassed because I didn't know what to do. And they'd be like,
so instead of doing anything about it.
Yeah, I didn't do anything. I was gay. I don't know what to say about it, but it's kind of embarrassing.
That's funny.
So all these girls were writing my name on you had paper bag book covers, and it'd be Joe Crowley all over it, and people were writing my name on their shoes and stuff. I'm so happy for you. I peaked in 6th grade. That's the point of the story.
I feel bad about that part, but
either way.
But you got to experience that.
So
That's probably a nice experience.
Romeo and Juliet came out. I didn't know anything about it, obviously, and I guess these girls had saw it, and Leonardo DiCaprio was in it.
What, 96?
Yeah,
96.
and so then they started writing Leo all over their books. And like I like played it off when it was me. I'm like, yeah, I brushed my shoulder off.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they started writing someone else's name on it, and I was like, what the fuck, man?
Then-
Who's this guy? Who's this fucking Leo that's taking over my territory? I thought he was in junior high or
So
something.
you have this like rivalry with DiCaprio.
And I went, I was like, who is he? And they're like, DiCaprio. I was like, who's Leo? They're like, DiCaprio. And I'm like, who the fuck is that? And they're like, he's in this new movie. And I'm like, oh.
Never mind.
And that was the last time.
That anybody wrote
your
name
on anything
something,
except for fucking.
a bill.
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
It's okay.
It's like a marathon session of sex.
Would you want to stop it?
Nope.
We can do on.
Let's keep going.
All right. So
No?
we're talking about
Not keep going?
no. We'll end it for today. Wait, what the fuck are we doing right now?